Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogmas. So today we are doing a relationship Q&A. I asked you for some questions on my Instagram. Go check it out. I also have been saving some of the relationship questions you have asked in other videos, so we're gonna jump on into it. Starting with the big one, because I know that I don't really talk about like my relationship on here a ton, which isn't intentional. He just doesn't love being in vlogs, which is why every time I put him in one, it's like fully forced. But the big question that we've had is, how did you meet? So our story is very much like a porno. Cooper is a plumber, and I had a leak and I needed someone to come and fix it, and my uncle, who usually covers this stuff for us, really pissed me off. And so I called a company in Edmonton here and had a plumber come out, and it turned out to be Cooper. So he ended up texting me. He got my number off of the invoice, and he ended up texting me that night just being like, hey, how's it going? Are you having any issues? Is the leak still there? And I'm like, nope, looks like you fixed it up good. And he made some joke about leaving a tool here, and I made a joke about how dare you make me get up and check. And then after like a little bit of kind of banter, he asked me out for coffee, and we ended up going and getting a drink like a week later. And that was my probably ever last first date. But it's really nice because we both kind of had this like innate attraction to each other, and we just clicked. Like, we really just vibed on our first date. And I feel like I'm the kind of person where I can kind of make conversation with anybody, and I think that that applies a lot to like YouTube and having done like Skype calls and stuff for so long with people and meetings and stuff and just like doing meetups. Like, you get to be able to like discover a topic to talk about with kind of anybody. And I didn't have to like go into that skill. It just really flowed very easily, and we were able to be completely ourselves. And it got to the point when we were like in our first couple of dates where I was so freaked out because I couldn't find any red flags. And usually I am the master of that. Like, oh, no, this is going to be an issue. Like, this isn't going to be long-term something that I can deal with. And I don't feel like I'm overly picky with things like that. Like, I think the red flags that I found in previous relationships were valid. The fact that I couldn't find any with him was like horrifying. I'm like, either he's a sociopath and he's amazing at hiding them, or like I found a fucking unicorn. How long did you guys date until you moved in together? We moved in March of last year. So we were dating for a year and 3-ish months. How did he ask you to be official? So we met November 27th. That's when he came for the call. He asked me out December 27th. And that is our official anniversary. So it was a month. That was probably 3 to 4 dates. We were gonna go to a like sparkly, like the Edmonton Zoo winter festival thing. And I felt really sick because my cousin was in town, and we had been at my parents' house the day prior or 2 days prior. And I started to feel really, really sick that day, so I asked him if we could just stay in, and he was so good about it, which was so unusual because I get sick a lot, and people tend to think that like after the 3rd or 4th time of me being sick, they're like, oh my god, you're faking it. And I'm like, I'm genuinely not. Like, my immune system is just kind of trash sometimes. And I swear to god, I had COVID. I swear it was COVID. All of the symptoms matched up perfectly, except I could still taste things, but I have never been that goddamn sick in my life. But anyways, I digress. Instead, he came over, of going to the zoo, he came over and we were watching a movie, and I was sitting there trying not to look like a diseased piece of shit because I felt like garbage. We were making out. He did later get sick, shocking. And he asked me where I saw this going, and I said I could definitely see a future. I could see this becoming something. And then he asked me if I wanted to be his girlfriend or if we could make it official or something. I don't remember the specific wording. I fucking wish I did. I bet I have it in my journal somewhere. I said yes. And then I came downstairs and I was so excited, and I told my roommate at the time and I told my cousin, and it was really cute because I hadn't officially dated anybody since like 2.5 years prior. Like, this was my first big, like, we're official, we're committed kind of relationship, and I feel like I was in the perfect headspace for it. Like, I had done the therapy, I had dated a bunch of people, I had enough like experience with dating and with like shitty dates and with good dates that I felt like I was at the point in my life. And this is like, obviously in retrospect, this wasn't like all going through my mind where it's like, well, I think I have enough life experience that if this is the relationship that lasts, then I'm content with that. But looking back, I feel like it was kind of perfect timing because I have enough life experience that I think that this being my last like relationship, last first date, last first kiss, last first time, like it doesn't freak me out. Also, it was kind of fated because this is how weird it was, okay, that we were destined to meet. Our moms went to the same high school, in the same class, they are on the same yearbook picture. Also the fact that I got to see my mom in like 12th grade with her huge ass hair, hilarious. And his stepdad went to the same camp spot, which is like very small, tight unit. Like, it's like just a handful of families know about it. He went to the same camp spot that we've been going to for the last 20 years ago. Thoughts on the engagement ring. So I have a whole video on the proposal and I vlogged the, like, not the actual proposal, but I'll link those things down below. But we went ring shopping and I was very specific with what I wanted because I'm very particular with my jewelry, and I'm wearing this forever. I want to like it. I just said oval, simple, thin gold band. That's all I wanted. And we decided on moissanite as well because you could get a bigger stone. It's like not a blood diamond, and the cost is just so much more reasonable than a diamond. This same sized stone as a diamond in store when we were looking was $8,000. Outrageous, right? So yeah, we just agreed on doing like moissanite and pretty affordable rings for each other because we want to do a sick ass honeymoon. Like, we're doing very affordable wedding as well, just like a destination, kind of basic, because neither one of us are like, I've been dreaming about my wedding since I was a little girl or boy, right? So we just want to do a sick honeymoon. We have already kind of planned out where we want to go. We want to do a month in Europe. I actually have a whole let me read to you where we're going on our honeymoon. So we want to start Edmonton to Paris, Paris to Marseille, Marseille to Venice, Venice to Rome, Rome to Athens, Athens to New York, New York back to Edmonton. So we're gonna do like 5 days in each, and it's gonna be an amazing time. And that's not gonna happen for probably like 1.5 years or something, which is why we are just budgeting with the rest of our stuff. What annoys you about each other? So I can't answer for him, but I'm sure the fact that I am kind of a clean freak is annoying from time to time. But the fact that he makes sandwiches and doesn't clean up the toaster crumbs on the counter is just like, and then he tickles me all the time. And I feel like he's one of those dogs, you know, that doesn't know their size. So he doesn't understand where his limbs are. So he breaks glasses a lot, and he like bumps me like all the time, no matter what we're doing. He just like bumps me, and I'm just like, bro, I need you to learn where your limbs are. Somebody asked, I don't want to be seen as a cheapskate. Is a 10-carat engagement ring over the top? I mean, that's between you and your God. For me, that would be a little over the top, but I'm also kind of a cheap bitch when it comes to like clothes, accessories, things like that. But I mean, I don't think it has to be like 3 months of your salary. I think that's a little much. I think it's more important than the cost is getting the style that your partner would like and would wear. So I really, really suggest going ring shopping together, because getting engaged can definitely be a surprise, but it should also be something that you guys have talked about, and that you have talked about like, oh, these are my opinions on this big life thing. Finances, kids, religion, where you want to live, what you want your retirement to look like, how you want to run businesses, how you want to run a household, like drinking and partying, where are we at on that? Like, there are big things that you should discuss, and spending the rest of your life together should definitely be one of those discussions. And in talking about that, you should just be like, okay, so like if we were to get engaged or something, like what kind of a jewelry style are you looking for, you know? Are there any things that you're like, oh my god, please don't do that if I were to propose? Like, for me, a public proposal is fine, but like within limits, you know? Like, I wouldn't want a fucking flash mob or like a teleprompter at a sports game, you know? That's just a little bit too much. Everyone is in my business. And I also just want to include a giveaway in this video. So I'm gonna be packing up a little mystery box, but I'm including a cleanser, a makeup palette, I'm going to include some fake nails, I'm going to include a bunch of little goodies. So if you want to enter, I will have how to do it in the description, but basically just subscribe, thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, it is younging19, and then in the comments of this video, ask me more questions, ask me a question you want in the next Q&A, because I will be doing another one before Vlogmas is over. Hopefully I can bribe Cooper to be in it. We'll see. Probably not. Don't get our hopes up. I won't get mine up if you don't get yours up, but I will try. And also leave your Instagram username in that comment as well, because that is how I reach out to people. It's just easier. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you later. Thank you for dealing with all of my tangents today. Okay. Goodbye.